As I mentioned in the daily financial news this morning, I wanted to review an article with the triumvirate that we call the three amigos, Matt and Dion. And really, it really is a recognition on my part, at least, that the Crash Bros are actually probably doing what they should do, right? The larger audience, if you believe this article, which again, we will pick up, the larger audience to the tune of 66% believe a housing crash is imminent. So if you are a content creator and you want to grow, you should be feeding the largest group, which according to this article, they are. And I was wrong. I had always thought the Crash Bros were feeding a fringe group, maybe 25%, and that the rest of us understood housing and all of that. And I was clearly wrong. Dion, I know you've had a chance to look at it. Matt has not. So we will have his virgin eyes on it in a minute, but you had some notes. What did you see?
Well, Matt's sitting there on the casting couch because Siberia has no power. And the thing I really took away from this article, first two things. Thank you, Mike, for being the kind of person who wakes up and goes through all of this information to put your daily update together, because I would never do that, but I want this information. Like the idea that somebody with a brain that's an investor, that's educated, is saying, here's what matters to investors. I actually appreciate that. So when you actually sent this article, I was like, ooh, he actually thinks I should read this. So I go through the article and I'm like, I'm wondering, Matt, in your area right now, you have a power outage going on. How many people would you think are saying, we've never seen the power out before in your area? You would think, because it happens every now and then, it would be a really small number, right?
Right.
In this article, according to the polls, so there was 66% expect the crash is imminent, right?
Imminent, not
Imminent.
imminent. That's the word that really throws me.
And crash, 20% or more in a 1 year period, even though we've never seen more than an 8.9% historically, right? 61% of the people in this poll said interest rates are unprecedented. We've never seen them this high before. Right. So like the person saying, oh, we've never had power out before. That's why I actually thought the Crash Bros were talking to a larger percentage, because for any of the real nerds out there, Terry Brooks is an author, and his famous quote is, people are stupid. And I agree with
Terry Brooks. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. So let's bring it up. Let's get Matt. And again, I had to share this article, because every once in a while I read one and I go, to quote Terry, people are stupid. I don't get it.
It's the same 66% of people, right? So 66% of people believe a crash is imminent.
Yeah.
It's the same part of the 69% of people that live paycheck to paycheck and haven't figured out their own finances yet.
Yeah. Well, so
it's the same group.
Well, let's get into that, because I want to give credit to where credit is due. So you can find this article on Yahoo News. Again, people always ask, Michael, what do you read? I bounce around every day on purpose because I don't want to be stuck in a vacuum. So I don't have a trend. So this one came from Danielle D. I'll call it Vice, whatever. I tried. All right. So I give him credit where credit is due. There's a couple of things in here that just show me, to quote Terry, people are stupid. First and foremost, 28 million Americans, so roughly 9%, call it, plan to purchase a home in 2023. I shared on our financial news a couple of days ago that at the end of 2022, we did total for the year 5 million, but now we are on a pace to do 4 million. So 28 million would be 7x what we are currently doing. But here is the real kicker. The 28 million Americans believe that they're going to spend $269,200. And even after a drop of, from 413 to 388, they're 100 grand light. They're 100 grand light for the median home price. What did that stand out to you, Dion, when you read it?
It actually sounded accurate. I've got some, I want to say friends, but acquaintances. Other people would call them family, but I don't want to call them friends, that are waiting to buy a house as an investment, right? This is actually, it's a nephew who owns a house right now, wants to buy a house-to-house hack and rent out the one he's in. But anytime he sees a number above 200,000, his brain shuts off and he says, I can't do it. And the median in our area is closer to 400,000. So, I mean, he's a couple 100,000 off. but he wants to buy. He's waiting until he sees the $200,000 house, and he's not moving his market or area. So he's just going to be in perpetual wait. I think that there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah, I mean, just for reference sake, home prices passed 269,000 in 2013, 10 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
This is what would make me the worst realtor on the planet. I would take a prospective person's list. Here's all the things that we want in the house. And I would find them that house that meets all of those things. And we would walk through it and they would be like, Matt, you did it. You found our dream home. And I would say, yes, I did. One slight hiccup. Your budget's $269 and this house is $700,000. That's why I'd be the funniest real estate agent, but the worst at the same time, and probably never have return clients. But this is the problem that we always have. It's people believe that something should be something, and then when it's not, the something is wrong. Like it's the people that fight the Fed, it's the people that fight the tape. They're like, no, you don't understand. This company is way undervalued. No, you don't understand. You're in the minority. You're the one that believes that, and that doesn't make it true.
Yeah. Well, here's the line that really threw me for a loop. 2/3 of Americans surveyed said they expect an imminent crash. I want to congratulate the Crash Bros. They are feeding the market, and the market is listening. Their message is resonating, and people are eating it up. That's why they do daily videos with the same message. The crash is here. I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, they're feeding the larger audience. It was eye-opening to me. And maybe it shouldn't have been, but it was.
Well, I heard you say they're feeding the larger pool, right? So they're smarter, but they're lying. Would you want a bigger channel if all you had to do was lie?
You know what? I don't actually want to use. I don't think the word lie is fair.
You didn't say it. I did, because I'm calling them liars. They're literally saying, "Here's some made up bull crap that will cause fear and panic and make people watch my videos." I think they know they're lying.
Again, I won't say that. Yeah, I won't say that word because lying really, I don't think it's a line. Some of them might be, but I don't think in general. I think they have a bias or a narrative, and they look for any excuse to tell it, and they tell it repeatedly, and I clearly think they're wrong. I think they're misinformed. I think they couldn't read a chart to save their lives. But are they lying? I'm not willing to go there.
So here's how I came to that conclusion. 2 years ago, when they make a crash video.
Yep.
Okay, maybe they expected one. But 2 days later, when they made another with a different reason, and 2 days later when they made another with a different reason, and consistently done that for 700 days in a row.
Yeah.
At some point, even an average person would have to say, "Huh, I'm full of it."
I have been around a lot of people that get on a hot streak, and they never have that self-reflection. They just think they're gods and they figured it out, and why stop? But anyways, yeah, it's that number shocked me. 66% people. I mean, why wouldn't you feed the larger audience? But here's the deal. All three of us combined, we are talking to the people in the stands. The 66% are in the parking lot, and I don't give a shit about them. I don't care. I want to talk to the 34%, and I am okay today having a smaller channel. That 66%, again, I want to give them credit, but I also want to say I am happy with the 34. I'm happy. I'm fine being smaller because the people listening do the work. They're making chances. We're sending out cards almost every day. I am okay having a smaller channel because I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to be intellectually dishonest. So yeah, I'm okay with it. I mean, frankly, keep doing what you do. You guys keep driving away competition, so it keeps helping me. So next up, go ahead.
All I have to say is if they want to keep their audience, they better maintain that narrative and remain renters waiting for the crash to come.
They could never buy. They could never
That's
buy.
right. Correct.
If they ever get known to buy.
That's right. Well, here's the thing. You can do that, but what you said would happen have happened. And then you can buy and be vindicated. But if you're doing it now, if you're doing it in 3 months or 6 months, you've just been a total poser and intellectually dishonest.
Yeah, I think some of them are on the cusp of buying homes with their massive YouTube money.
I agree.
And they won't tell us.
Nope.
But karma's a bitch, and somewhere, some way, somebody will follow them on Facebook, and they will do a Facebook post to their friends and family showing their new home. That will make it to the YouTube universe, and they will get raked over the coals.
As well they should.
Yeah. So other things in this article that really shocked me, 61%, this is to Dion's point, told the pollsters, current mortgage rates are unprecedented, meaning they have never been seen before. It's not that long ago. It's really not.
It's not.
Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. What else in here was, because there was so much in this that just had me going crazy.
So it talks about 30 million people wanting to buy this year. 70% of the people who wanted to buy in 2022 failed to buy a property. It talks about that. I think the metric that's missing here is, and I don't know the metric, so it's kind of posed as a question. 30 million people, 10% of the population want to buy a house in 2023. What about the people that are foreign investors? Money that's coming in that isn't in this poll, that are going to buy, that want to buy, that the dollar is gaining value compared to the currency that country is coming from. I think that the demand is there.
Oh yeah. I mean, so we're talking about the demand equation here. What people, and again, the posers and intellectually dishonest folks don't want to recognize the supply. We're sitting at less than 1 million units again, 970,000 according to people that I track. And something else I have brought to the channel that people really need to understand is that 970 is not like the 970 a year ago. It's worse. Why is that? Because 160,000 of those are luxury properties that have 100 days or more on market. Those are not real listings. Those are signed. They're going to age out. They're going to expire. They're not moving. So if you take let's just say you cut it in half. So 160 divided by 2 is 80 minus that. So you're at 890. The record low for available inventory was January of 2021 at 880. So we're almost there again. And rates have fallen 1.3%. Oh man, it's wild. It's going to get wild out there.
What I think is funny is
it's lower than that because it's lower. I think it's lower than that because I think that you have a bunch of units on market that are still wish pricing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I cut out 50% of luxury, but I got to tell you, I bet there's 30% of move up. That's the same crap. You're absolutely right.
Exactly.
It's less.
It's way less.
So the demand is there.
600.
And I'm sorry, Matt, every time that there's a little lag, I think there's a pause and I just probably talk all over you. I'm sorry. I apologize for that.
Go ahead.
The demand is there. It isn't going anywhere. But what we're talking about in video 2 today is the thing that's going to kill supply. So if demand goes up, supply goes down. 60-something% of Americans out there, tell me where the crash is coming from.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I want to recognize, I want to apologize one more time. I had always thought that Crash Bros were feeding a small nascent audience, and I was wrong. 66% of Americans believe a housing crash is imminent. So you keep doing you. Keep pumping out that garbage, that intellectually dishonest folks. Keep having a party in the parking lot, and I'll work with the 34% in the stadium. Dion, where can people find you?
And they can find me right here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom, where I'm really happy to meet people like Dividend Dave, who moves to another state, house hacks a duplex, Anna Kay, who purchases a property out of state, invests long distance, and is killing it, while everyone else is saying, there's a housing crash coming.
Absolutely. Matt, where can people find you?
I concur. Lumberjack Landlord on Instagram and YouTube. And on Instagram, we'll be doing many of these storm updates because it's really starting to get fun now.
There you go. Thanks.